Okay, so my final project was an ambitious project that kind of feeds into some stuff I want to build long term, and that was to get computer vision working. So to actually get my computer able to recognize objects that I put in front of the web camera, including humans and cups and cell phones and cars and things like that. And I took a number of different approaches. And the first one that I took was this just really complex kind of lots of imports of things like Kivi and time and image AI. And ultimately, we could never really get this going. It just didn't do what it was supposed to do. So I went back to the drawing board and did some more learning. I had a second attempt, which was a lot closer to what my final attempt ended up being, but again had similar problems. And again, this was much simpler, just using CV2 and Numpy and in arrays, basically. Um, and again, was running into some collisions to do with parsing. Third attempt, which was successful, was again based on CV2 and Numpy, but it was, in effect, it was, I think the way that the tutorial showed this made it a lot easier to work out. So I could kind of step my way through it one piece at a time and test it and make sure it was working and ultimately get my head around how the Numpy array actually looked, and where I could actually make the calls that I wanted. So let's go ahead and run this, and you'll be able to see how the final project works. It takes a couple of seconds to run because I put some wait commands in it. But there you go. You'll see a webcam pop up, and that's me. And it believes that it's looking at a person. If I kind of hold up, say, like a cup, it's going to be reasonably sure that it's found a cup. And if I hold up like a cell phone, I'm reasonably sure that I found a cell phone. It's not perfect. Some things don't work. Like if I hold up this little red ball, it's not 100% sure what it is. It thinks it might be an orange. It's also tagging my hand as a second time. So there's some things I want to work on. It's also slower than I would like, and that's because at the moment it's using the CPU and not the GPU. So that is the next step for me is going to be to download CUDA and get that running off my NVIDIA GPU. And the next step after that actually is to get this working on more mobile cameras. So cameras that are maybe on cell phones or attached to Google Glass, and using this as the backend code. So yeah, that's my final project, and I am submitting it now.